Yeah. So Isabel, can you share with our audience, like, how did you guys come up with this idea to start a YouTube channel? I think that's where you originally started, or not?
Not really.
No?
Well, it's a long story. We actually started in 2012, and YouTube was never part of the plan. We started with a podcast
Oh,
actually
you started with
when
the podcast.
nobody. Yeah, we started with a podcast when nobody even knew what a podcast was. Like we would tell
Ah,
our friends we're starting this podcast, and they would be like, "What? A podcast? What the hell is that?"
yeah.
And well, it was actually well, we met in Madrid, and then we moved to England. I really wanted to live in the UK for a very long time, and so we moved there. And I had been in England before, but I hadn't really had so much contact with native speakers. And it was when I lived there, and I also found a job there. And actually, it was a job in a 4-star hotel in the front desk at the front desk. Sorry, so I was right there in the firing line, and I realized that everything I had learned at school was the English I had learned at school was pretty different from the one that was used in real life, and I was mispronouncing every single word. I didn't know any of the common phrases, expressions. I was just like a walking textbook, and just by sharing my life with Philip, I was learning so much and in such a different way.
Yeah.
And he also learned Spanish thanks to me and to a podcast as well. So that's when we thought, wow, there must be so many people, there must be so many Spanish speakers in my situation, because also it was after the crisis when we moved to the UK, and many Spaniards were moving there, and we thought, wow, we're onto something here. There's so much value, so much that
Yeah.
we can help all the Spanish speakers with.
Yeah. Are
So
you
that's
you are from Spain? Philip is from the UK. You guys met in, was that in Barcelona?
in
In
Madrid.
Madrid.
In
Yeah.
Madrid. You
Yeah.
guys study together, or how do you guys know each other?
No. I finished university, and after that, I decided to take a gap year, and I bought a one-way ticket to Madrid,
Ah,
and there I decided to kind of learn Spanish and teach English as well at the same time, and that's where we met.
ah.
So
And then how long did it take to
Yeah, we're a
until
couple,
you?
by the way. I don't know if we mentioned that. We're married. I don't know if we
Yeah,
forgot to mention
Yeah,
that.
that's what I assume. But it's good you mentioned that just for our audience.
Like, no, we didn't go to uni together or anything like that.
yeah,
Have you guys always
So-
enjoyed working together? I mean, like when you started the podcast, I guess not everybody can just start a podcast with their partner, right? Not everybody has that common interest to teach languages, to create content together. Tell us a little bit about how that got started in the beginning. Like, was that something that you guys always that you guys both wanted from the beginning?
Yeah, I think, I, at the time in 2012, I was listening to a lot of these online business podcasts like Pat Flynn's Smart Passive Income. And I'd also learnt a lot of Spanish with a podcast called Notes in Spanish by Ben Curtis and Marina Diez. And I just thought it was such a fantastic way to learn a language through the podcast. It was completely different to anything I'd ever used before, and I really connected with them.
Yeah.
And so we kind of put those two things together. I realized that a lot of people were starting to create online businesses, and I thought we could give it a go. So we started with a similar kind of business model, which was free audio, and with each episode comes a PDF with the transcript and exercises.
Yeah.
And we just started to record our conversations, and we didn't really take it too seriously. We enjoyed it.
Yeah, the podcast was the easiest thing we've ever done, really, because we had just kind of landed in the UK. We were I was experiencing lots of changes in my life. There was so much that I was learning, and Philip as well with his Spanish. So really, yeah, just having conversations in front of a microphone was not really a big deal, and we didn't have an audience as well, so there was no pressure at all. We both had our jobs, and we were just doing it for fun, really. But we had that kind of business idea in mind, but it just seemed so far away, and there was nobody doing the same thing. So it was just really relaxing and enjoyable. And working as a couple, like the big deal came a bit later when we both actually jumped into it, and then it became our bread and butter. Did you say bread and butter or bacon? Yeah. No, bacon is in Spanish. Bread and butter.
Yeah. All right. So how long did that take? I mean, you start a podcast, especially starting a podcast can be very slow, right? Depends on your niche. I guess if you started in 2012 teaching English for Spanish speakers, maybe there wasn't so much competition. Or was there competition? Yeah,
maybe there were 3 or 4 podcasts. There was nothing going on YouTube. Like we recorded a few podcasts, and then there was a topic that we wanted to cover, and it was like how to phrases to talk over the phone in English. And we thought this would be much better if we did it as a video, and then we can kind of interact. And that's when we recorded the first video, and then we noticed that there was a lot of interest on that. I mean, a lot of interest in those days maybe was, I don't know, 100 views, I don't remember. But then we filmed another video, and the podcast wasn't really getting anywhere, but maybe we're not. I mean, we kept doing it for a long time.
Yeah.
We kept doing it for years, but then we kept the podcast and the YouTube channel. But there was definitely much more interest coming from the video, but also on YouTube those days there was nobody really teaching English, or at least English for Spanish speakers. There were maybe a couple of channels.
It's completely different to what you find nowadays on YouTube, where it seems like there are a lot of people out teaching everything, not just languages, but it's really grown a lot.
Yeah, it's exploded, but back then.
But it was kind of slow at the beginning, because I remember going to my classes. I was teaching in academies, and I would say to my students, "Do you listen to podcasts?" And they'd say to me, podcasts. They just didn't know what it was. So it was quite frustrating for me, because I was really into podcasts, and I was trying to get my students into podcasts and listening to them. But
But they wanted video.
Sorry?
But they wanted video, or they knew YouTube.
Yeah. YouTube for us got much more of a response, so we kind of kept going down that road.
Yeah.
And
Do you guys both have a background in teaching?
Philip does. I have a background in business and marketing, but Philip,
straight after uni, I went to Madrid and started teaching English without any qualifications. I just, the school taught me. Then years later in Cambridge, I got my qualification, and I've taught in Madrid in companies, and in Cambridge in academies, teaching students from all over the world. So I've been teaching, for many years.
Mm.
And
How long did it take for you guys until you saw the potential of the podcast or the YouTube channel turning into a business? You guys started the podcast in 2012, and then when did you start the YouTube channel?
I think it was the same year, wasn't it?
Same year.
Probably, or maybe I don't remember now. A few months later,
A few months later.
We were trickling videos there every so often, but our main focus was on the podcast.
Yeah, we were not taking it extremely seriously, although we knew what we wanted, but we didn't really believe it was possible, because at that time, like I said, nobody, very, very few people were doing a similar thing, or especially around us. And we from the beginning we knew that we wanted to create materials that our goal was to create materials to help those students. So we started with the listening course that would have the PDFs, the transcripts and exercises and everything. And then with YouTube we also created a course. We had a video that was really successful, that was on how to prepare for an interview in English. So then we developed a mini course, and we were kind of working it out. Just working out what had interest and how we could help.
So do you remember the moment that you thought, wait, this YouTube channel is growing so fast, people are asking for courses, I think we have a business here?
Yeah, it wasn't so much depending on YouTube. Like YouTube had already started growing
Okay.
fast. Like there was one of those viral videos. I think it's like that for most channels. No, at some point there is a video that explodes, and then you start getting a lot of interest, and then you obviously have to keep that up. You have to be constant and keep creating great content. Otherwise, it's not going to work, even if you have the most viral video ever. But so that was going, yeah, really well. But we were not really relying on that. We wanted to, like, the moment we knew we had something, we had a business, was when we were generating stable income from our courses.
Yeah.
So we didn't really pay much attention to the YouTube earnings, because that's just so,
Yeah.
it can just change overnight, can go down to zero.
Yeah, you guys have a huge audience nowadays. It's over 1 million, right? On YouTube at least.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember like how big the YouTube channel or website visits or whatever, how big the business was, or how big the following was when you could decide, or when you could say, okay, I'm going to quit my day job and I'm going to focus on the business?
Yeah, I don't think that was much. Maybe subscriber count was maybe 100,000.
Only 100,000
subscribers, or
yeah.
200,000. It wasn't much more than that.
Yeah.
But yeah, yes, I wanted to tell a story. It's not a very long one, don't worry. There was
our listeners love stories. Go ahead, we have the time.
There is a moment that comes to mind when I thought, oh my goodness, we're onto something here. I'm starting to believe all of those online business things, and is that I was we had our few courses already on Amigos Ingleses Academy, and I decided to try something different, and I launched a 24-hour sale for our courses. I don't remember what the promotion was. It was quite a good promotion, and I decided I would be 24 hours. So I launched that, and that next day I had an appointment at the hairdresser. So while I was there, sat down, and I was getting my hair done, I kind of look at my email. I thought, oh, let's see what's going on there. Maybe, I don't know, kind of scary moment, like maybe I'll click on there. There's nothing happening. I hear crickets.
Yeah.
We haven't sold a single course. And it's I went in there, and it was one email, another sale. And by the moment I left the hairdressers, I had doubled the income that I was making working at my job at that time.
Yeah. So you were able to pay for that
while
haircut.
I was at the hairdressers. Yeah, I was able to pay for that. But the most amazing, that really kind of made my head explode a bit. I thought, oh my goodness, this is crazy. But at the same time, it just felt so good, because what we were doing was really meaningful, and we were helping so many people, getting such great feedback. So that was kind of, when I thought, maybe I have to give it a go and just quit this job.
Yeah.